Dirty glass.
All right, I see us. I see us on the Uber tubes.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, John, put your pants back on.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, your hair's all messed up. Dang it.
Oh.
Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 173, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or in replay on podcast form over on Anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. It's probably mine. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, usually some Star Trek, if you couldn't guess by the decor. This is a family-friendly show in both language and content, although do be aware we are drinking alcohol on the show, but usually is not an issue. But it's cocktail month! Woo! Nothing but cocktails on Craft Computing for the month of March. So buckle up, as Rhett would say.
So now you get to see how Jeff lives outside of beer.
Right.
A normal life.
Exactly. Yeah, the real Jeff. But let's see. Let's get back on track. All super chats are right on the air so long as they meet those family-friendly criteria. If you're drinking along with us at home, alcoholic or not, let us know, and we will give some early show shout-outs in the chat as we go along. And if you'd like to join the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon or Float Plane. Links are both down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to the Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all of the hosts from Talking Heads, and keep the conversation going with the awesome community over there.
That is true. That is not a lie. It is one
literally
heck of a community.
An awesome community.
It is a awesome community. It is bloomed into probably one of the best Discords ever, probably.
Dang it, Skull came up with a better name. Mixology March.
I called it cocktail.
Cocktail March is what I
called it. Yeah.
Mixology March. Skull, you sold me. Ooh, and Skull is also drinking a Templeton Rye Cask, old fashioned. Which I had one of those last week, and back me up on this, Skull. It makes one heck of an old fashioned. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, the show is going to be a little bit different pace because we're making cocktails while we're talking, so just be ready for that. Let's do away with some of the introductions and let's just get into what cocktails we're making tonight. You want to go first, or should I do mine first?
I can go first. That's fine. Mine's a little bit bigger. So I posted a video yesterday of what one of my cocktails will be, and this is going to be the Beggar's Banquet. That's what it was called. I was going to call it Beggar's Delight, but it's Beggar's Banquet. And it is a beer cocktail, kegtail, beer tail, something.
John, you're flirting with the rules.
Yeah,
right,
well, it's a cocktail, right? It's a cocktail. It's still a cocktail. I just put some beer in it.
It's still a cocktail.
It's still a cocktail. So, are we doing the recipe, or are we just saying what's in it?
You can give the recipe if you want.
Okay, so it's 2 ounces of your bourbon, whatever you want, and pour that in. I'm just gonna try to do this really fast. There we go. Spilled a little. If you want to see how I make this, it looks better on camera on the video. Then you need a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. And I'm spilling everywhere. Pour that in there. And another special part is maple syrup. So 3/4 ounce of maple syrup.
You can see who's prepared for cocktail month and who's just phoning it in.
Yes, exactly. Well, again, why I chose with the beer, because that's more my specialty.
Yep.
And to top it all off, a little ice, but then 5 ounces of a lager. And I'm going with a traditional Weihenstephan lager.
Nice.
So 5 ounces of that.
Big Spoon chimes in with a $2 donation. All super chats are right on the air unless it's Spoon. Yep. You're right.
And there we go.
Awesome. And what was this one called again?
The Beggar's Banquet.
Beggar's Banquet. Gotcha. All right. I'm going to go get some ice in my shaker real quick.
It's like a beer whiskey sour. with a hint of maple. Really like that. And the best part is I still have a beer. Just switch back and forth when Jeff's not looking. What? Aha! He's back.
Haha.
So what are you doing?
Never left. I am doing, for my first cocktail, an Irish sidecar. So today, Funky Monk reminded me that March 3rd is Irish Whiskey Day. So he goes, do you have any Irish whiskeys planned for tonight? And I said, I don't, but that certainly changes what I did have planned. So I'm going with one of my favorite Irish whiskeys, which is Jameson Black Barrel. Really can't go wrong with it.
Nope.
Now, my even more favorite Irish whiskey is the Jameson Caskmates Stout Edition, but that really doesn't fit this drink. So I'm doing essentially a sidecar, but with Irish whiskey. So we are going to take 2 ounces of our Jameson. There we go. I thought about doing a full cocktail cam, like an overhead thing, but
yeah,
I didn't quite get to it this week.
Maybe next.
Maybe next show we'll get the overhead view for me, and you can actually see me putting this thing together.
There we go.
So we got our 2 ounces of Jameson. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, and I've got an actual lemon here. So,
yeah.
Although I am cutting it with a pocket knife, so, you know. All right. Just give that a... That's a good lemon.
That is a good lemon.
Wow. There we go. I think out of half of that, I got more than 3/4 of an ounce. All right. We're going to do 1 ounce of simple syrup, which is just usually it's a 50-50 blend, water and sugar. I make mine a little heavy on the sugar, so it's more 2/3 sugar. It's just a little bit heavier pour, less dilution. And then we are going to do 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec, and I'm sorry for this bottle. Not my favorite triple sec, but it's really all I have. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to swap out and go with an orange liqueur. I'm going to do that instead. So.
Oh, you're going to go with like the blue Curacao. Please use this. Please tell me.
I'm pitch hitting, or I'm.
Please tell me you're going to use this.
Blue Curacao. No.
Come on.
I do have some De Kuyper's Blue Curacao up there. So most of the time, Top Shelf is reserved for like the stuff you don't want to share. My Top Shelf is reserved for the stuff I don't want you to see. But anyway, I'm using a Grand Gala orange liqueur. And you just need 3/4 of an ounce of that. There we go. And my drink is shaken, so I'm going to do you all the courtesy of muting my microphone really quick.
No, what? Just turn around. Yeah. Tick, 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 tick. I'll simulate. Tick, 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 tick. Everyone. There we go. I know. I have some on my bar.
And of course, I got everything but the strainer. It's a professional show. Bar so far away. All right. And we're going to strain that. You can strain it into a coupe or a martini glass. I'm using something that's kind of halfway in between there. And there we've got our Irish sidecar. There we go.
Very nice.
All right. Get you back in frame there. There we go. Cheers, John.
Cheers. There was a couple of other people said they had some drinks.
Yes, I did see someone had. Gosh, what was that one that I saw?
There's the so we got the Temple Rye. Okay. An orange crush cocktail. No, I assume that's just soda.
Could be orange crush and rum.
Could be. Someone Eric's is having a Three Sheeps Brewing Misdirection IPA. Always nice. American Cogsworth, an Irish car bomb. Oh no, he's not. Our Irish car bomb's considered cocktail.
William says he's got a White Russian. That was the one that I saw earlier.
Okay.
I went, dude. Right.
Nice. I thought about making that.
Scott's having a Kentucky Mule tonight. Excellent choice.
That was the one I saw.
I almost went with a gin mule tonight. That was on my list of things that I was thinking of. It'll probably make another show.
Probably.
Moscow Mule, gin mule, love them. Didn't have any ginger beer, so. All right. So, welcome to Mixology March, everyone. I'm sure by the end of March we'll have this all organized and how it's we actually.
And then it'll be like the last show. We'll like, oh, that was great. This is fantastic. Back to beer.
Back to beer.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. And of course, I got simple syrup on my desk, so now my arm is sticky.
And you're probably gonna go buy all this special liqueur and mixing stuff and only use like a quarter ounce of it.
I have to go for next week. I have to go buy a full fifth that I think is like $45 because I need a quarter ounce of it.
And you're gonna tell your wife, babe, I got to do it. It's for the show. It's for work.
Yep.
This is for work.
Yep. Exactly. Well, it's a business expense now, which is awesome.
I know. I have no pleasure in buying this, babe. I swear.
This wasn't just an excuse to buy liquor.
Yes.
It's an excuse to restock the bar. All right. So we all thought Stadia was dead, but the news just keeps on coming. Well, we know Stadia's dying.
Is dead. Yeah,
is dead. Should be dead.
Soon will be. Pointless to get. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it still hanging around?
So we thought it was dead, but the story just won't quite go away. The story this week is people are looking at filing a class action lawsuit against Stadia due to advertisements related to its performance. So you can... One of the people linked this tweet all the way back in October of 2019 from some random Twitter user. Mr. Phil Harrison, will all games on Stadia run at 4K 60? Be good to get some clarity, because they had said up to 4K 60. And he said, will all games run at 4K 60?
Yeah.
And Stadia responded from the official Stadia account, hey there, Stadia will be able to stream games up to 4K HDR and 60 FPS quality for Stadia Pro subscribers. Non-subscribers can stream games up to 1080p 60 FPS. Like any other internet streaming experience, higher quality connections will result in the best experience. And Phil Harrison, who's the lead of the Stadia project, said, yes, all games at launch support 4K. We designed Stadia to enable 4K 60 with appropriate TV and bandwidth. We want all games to play at 4K 60, but sometimes for artistic reasons, 4K 30. And he said, all Stadia will always stream at 4K 60 via 2x encode. So, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, yes. Yes, Stadia will broadcast everything in 4K 60. Well, there's a class action lawsuit saying that almost nothing was delivered in 4K 60. It wasn't an option. It wasn't available. It
can't do it.
Right.
You promised me something, and I paid the premium membership for this, and I didn't get it. And then now you're closing. What's going on?
Yep. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Is they're coming after Google in a class action form for false advertisement or false promises in a retail product or service or whatever the exact legalese is for it. Oh. was going, what's
Now-
connecting and disconnecting? I was playing with a USB to SD card reader on my USB hub. I was just kind of
You're just
flicking it with
hearing
my finger.
blink,
and
blink, blink, blink.
yeah. Sorry, everyone, if everyone freaked out. That was me. I will stop twiddling my fingers now. That's basically the gist of the story, is Google overpromised and underdelivered, and we know they underdelivered because they weren't successful, and we know they weren't successful because they're closing Stadia down.
Yes.
So, but they're not getting out of this without a class action lawsuit being filed against it for broken promises and not being able to deliver.
Yeah, I'm curious about this, of just one of those things of, well, we had the hardware, we planned on, if Google's defense might be something like, we had the hardware, we couldn't do it on launch date, but we were about to do it, and then we shut down. But you can see we can do it. Here's the proof. Here's one computer in our back room that technically streams 60 at 4K.
Right.
So we have the capability, but we shut it
If
down.
Google needs any assistance with cloud game streaming, I'm more than happy to lend a hand.
Yeah.
Lend my expertise to their brain trust over there.
So I'm wondering if that's gonna kind of be their defense of, technically there's one computer that we have in the back closet that can do it, and so as you can see, it's always 4K 60 frames.
Rev said, I just said mother effer out loud and began looking at my PC, wonder what was causing the USB connect disconnect.
The noise.
That's one way I can just start messing with people during the stream. Just put it when you're on Linux and wondering what keeps connecting and disconnecting. I said sorry.
That would be a fun prank, though. Actually.
Yeah, like 10 people all of a sudden just started coming in.
What is going on?
You could help them get their Grid 2 cards working. Yeah. I did manage to get the Grid K2 cards working. Those didn't work all that well. And there was no hardware encode, so I was still limited by the software encoding side of it, which when you're trying to do it on aging hardware, that's a bit of a stretch. I am working on the next video for that series, though. I am gathering more parts and spending more money, and...
Really? Why?
I don't know at this point.
I have to get it to work.
I have to get it to work. Actually, I'm lower your expectations and you'll never be disappointed. I'm actually aiming at hosting like a 16-player Battlefront 2.
Oh, wow.
Because that would require almost no hardware to run at like 1080 60. It's such an old game.
Yeah.
Could we get 16 or better yet 32 players? Could we fill a server on a self-hosted single box?
It'd be fun.
That's kind of my next concept that I want. Like, I don't care how old the game is outside of 16-bit titles. Like I want a 3D shooter.
Yeah,
but
you want something. Well, let's see. I think that would almost be better in terms of like
LAN party style setup.
LAN party size, and you go, especially like say for the community at Craft Computing, of more of a Patreon, of a steady, hey, let's play with the host, and everything, and we're going to play the classic games that we grew up with. Maybe not new, but these are my favorite games growing up.
Right.
And yeah, you can play like Half-Life 2, you can play Battlefield 2146 or something like that.
Yeah. Battlefront 2 2005, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one
I'm thinking of.
We don't have enough for tribes.
Yeah.
I think that's like 100.
1942 Desert Combat. We might be able to do Battlefront 1942.
That'd be fun.
Yep. With that logic, you could be Stadia. My issue right now is bandwidth, actually. I only have 50 megs up, and so I'm either going to need to get faster connection upload, which isn't available. I'm going to need to do a couple of things. I might even end up co-locating the server with a friend of mine who does have gig up.
Well,
So,
wait, couldn't you classify your house now as a business and go for business?
yes, but at the same time, no. I can get Comcast Business at my house.
Yeah.
I looked into it. That's actually originally what I wanted. I was going to go with a 250 by 100 line.
Mhm.
It was almost $300 a month.
Yeah.
And I went,
I remember. Yeah.
sorry, but no. By the way, and you want to talk about bait and switch advertising? They offer business internet for as low as $90 a month, but you also have to rent the modem for, I think it's $70 a month.
Interesting, because I don't remember them. They said that, and I told them no, and they said, okay, well, we can't. From what I heard was you can get whatever you want, but we can't then guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they told me I was required to have the modem. And this was more recently and after net neutrality had been overturned and all that kind of stuff, which net neutrality is one of the things that was preventing monopolized, service providers from only letting you use their equipment and we'll Salem, rent it to you.
Yeah, well, even in Salem, there is not much of options.
Yeah.
There's pretty much two options.
Yep.
Comcast and the little guy.
Chris says there's a big Jedi Knight Jedi Academy community still playing, apparently. Yes, they are. And the mod community that I used to be a part of in Masasi Temple is still active. It's like the website where you would go and download all of the mods, the total conversions, the weapon packs, the map packs, and everything else. That website from 1998 is still live. Like, it's an impressive run that modding community has had. And yeah, there are a ton of people that still have that still actively play it. We could definitely max a server with one of those. I mean, I could do that software rendered. My issue is I'm starting to run out of cores at that point.
Yeah.
So, Starlink, it's on my radar, so to speak. I am thinking about getting a Starlink dish as a second provider at my house. And I'm actually looking at getting a second provider anyway, or a second line, or possibly even just hosting like a /28 or a /29 to get myself a very small block of IP addresses that I can actually play with that are outside of my personal network. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be DDoS'd.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of crap.
I signed up for Starlink and I paid the $100 and they're supposed to be sending me a dish sometime within the next 9 to 10 months. You know where it's going to go. And in fact, if it gets there before you, if you wanted to do something with it, you can. Just you have your hands on it. But as far as what I got quoted was don't expect it till December, November. So I basically put $100 like, okay, I can't wait to pay you another $400 at the end of the year.
Scott says, my brother-in-law is still playing Jedi Academy, but the only people still playing are insanely good. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't play a 22-year-old game if you're going, oh, what's this game? I've never heard of it before. It's you've been playing it for 23 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, those are the original people that have played it, and they've never stopped. And they're like, you know what?
Right.
I'm just going to go back to it.
This is still a great game. I'm still going to...
Yeah.
And what's great is it's still a great game.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I'll even sometimes I've even jumped on, like, tribes. And just because, like, there are still servers out there that are small private ones, but I still love playing tribes because it was that big open map area. And I always really enjoyed that skiing aspect. I've never seen that else in another first-person shooter. I've always really liked that, especially with Capture the Flag. You just kind of like go down the hill and zoom off. But yeah, now you play anyone. They are dead shots, snipers. They are excellent. They are dialed in.
Yeah.
It's literally like playing Final Fantasy with everyone's players maxed out.
Right. Oh. It's the other parallel that I can draw is the StarCraft community because.
Oh yes.
I used to play StarCraft back when it launched in '96, I want to say. Played that online, was part of the first crew that got into BattleNet, and did very well for a while. Got out of it when it went online in Korea for obvious reasons, because, well, they're just really, really good at at that. I think it's a national sport. But so I stopped playing StarCraft for a while. When StarCraft 2 came out, I went, I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to jump back in. Like I'm normally not one who is gung-ho about getting into an online game, but I kind of want to do some matchmaking in StarCraft 2 and, get back in the swing of things. Only the people in the interim 12 years never stopped playing it.
Nope.
So the learning curve for me all of a sudden, as someone who used to be, I'm not going to say expert player, but pretty darn good.
I can hang with everyone.
I can hang with everyone, right? Exactly. You'll beat me, but it's going to take you 40 minutes. Like that's the style that I played, is till the bitter end.
Oh yeah, I'm going to take one guy and just have him roam the forest just to piss you off.
I have 17 supply depots scattered across this map.
I did that with Steve so much.
What's even better is just do a pylon for the Protoss.
Oh yeah,
just warp in a pylon somewhere.
Oh god, he got so mad because he would destroy my village, and as he started, I was like, nope, he's gonna beat me. I know he is, because I'm not as fast as him, because he would play it all the time, and so I would just send out builders everywhere, and just as soon as he started attacking, nope, I'm dead. Just send it out, and I would drag it out for 20 minutes. You have to go explore the whole map to kill me.
Yeah. So my favorite story is I had a friend who very lightly dabbled with StarCraft, played it online occasionally, but just like newbie circuit kind of thing. And he said, well, I've heard you play StarCraft. I'd kind of like to play you in StarCraft. I said, are you sure? And he goes, yeah. I said, okay. Tell you what, we'll set up a nice long skinny map so there's nowhere for either of us to hide. I'll spawn at the top and you spawn at the bottom. And when you're ready, you just say go, and we'll start playing. So build your base, build your army, do whatever else. And then when you think you're comfortable starting the match, we'll go.
Let me know. Yeah.
Let me know. Exactly. So 15 minutes in, and he goes, okay, I think I'm ready. And I said, okay, just walk that mass of troops you have north. And he goes, what? And I said, yeah, that mass of troops in the middle of your base. And he goes, how do you know that? I said, because I'm watching you. And he goes, oh. And I said, yeah, just like take 10 steps north out of your fog of war. And I had I had 7 bases already spawned all down this long skinny map. And I had a counterpunch for every single unit that he'd made 10 feet out of his range.
And everything just stacked up walls. And then
I had turrets, I had siege tanks, I had...
Oh, one of my favorite things was, we did that. And so I was the sniper and I had my nukes. And instead of destroying a building, Steve would build it. And I was like, oh no, I'm just going to get my nuke. And I nuked his whole army. It's like, all right, let's go.
Nuclear launch detected.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
There's very few butt puckering phrases in gaming like nuclear launch detected.
Launch detected. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
getting a little anxious thinking about it. Going, where is that red dot?
Like I kind of want to go refresh some StarCraft skills.
Yeah. That might be fun to get the 4 of us on StarCraft one of these days.
That would be fun.
And just live stream that.
I know Steve's still pretty decent at it because he'll play our nephews and nieces. It's been a couple of years since he's done it, but he's probably still way fresher than I am on it. Maybe so. I don't remember the last time you played it. So like an actual I'm gonna go play a bunch of matches.
I'm gonna go play a bunch of matches. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and so
it's been probably 6 or 7
5
years.
Yeah, but him it's probably been 5, maybe 4 years.
Wait, what year is it? Crap.
Oh God, I know. there are memories coming back up on my social media pages, and I'm like, oh, it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Oh man.
John, I think you've been friends with John John for 10 years. It came up not long ago for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Oh yeah, I know. And it was like, oh, there's all these pictures of us showing up, in band. I'm like, oh my,
Yeah.
it was that long. It feels like 4 or 5 years ago.
I know it does. Nope.
Oh man, been
Yeah.
that long. I know.
I think I can finally drop the strawberry thing because it's been over a decade.
Good, just now because jammy sours are a thing, and I
Jammy
was a
sour,
pioneer.
Yeah.
I was like, no. Everyone needs fruit in beers.
Right.
I was a pioneer. I'm like the heady topper of Northwest IPAs. I brought in jammy sours. An infected, tons of fruit in it. You throw it in your bottle. There you go. It comes out chunky. That was me. I did it.
The look
You're
on your
welcome,
face as I'm
everyone.
trying to pour that beer, though. It's burned into my mind the embarrassment and laughter and everything else that was. You wanted to do like 7 things at once and try to explain. Well, I tried to put fruit in it.
Well, yeah, because I brought a 6-pack and each one was different.
Yeah.
And I was like, check this out. And I brought the one beer that
It had a whole strawberry in it.
whole strawberry, and I was like,
So I'm pouring the beer, and the strawberry gets lodged in the neck of it, and then goes thunk.
yeah, I think you like tried pouring it, and then you're like, all right, go over my sink. Thunk.
Yeah, this looks great, John. Thanks.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I think I got like a blue moon in the fridge. I'm going to have that.
Yeah, and people are talking about Planetary Annihilation, Total Annihilation. Did you ever play those games?
No, I never played that one.
They came out in, what was that, 2012, I want to say? Might have been even later than that, 2014. They were kind of like a spiritual successor to the original StarCraft. Where StarCraft 2 is still very true to the original. Yeah. But it's like taking all of the concepts of StarCraft and cranking it up just a little bit. It was a little bit more artistic. Like it wasn't as grungy and dirty. It was a
little more polished, smooth looking. The textures.
It was Wind Waker versus Ocarina of Time. It was that kind of difference. Where it's like it wasn't like for kids, but it was like a brighter, brightly colored kind of video game. Total Annihilation predated StarCraft. You're right. Gosh, what was there was one that came out in 2014-ish, and I think it was Total Annihilation, but basically it was a real-time strategy game. You played on a 3D globe surface.
Oh, interesting.
And you could navigate all over the globe. There were also different planets and moons that you would, and so you're looking at a 3D landscape from every dimension. And you could do things like put jet engines onto the moon and then slam them into your enemy's base on the planet. It was great.
That's awesome. That sounds like fun. I'd love to see a remaster of that. Yeah. Or an extra one.
You can still get it. I have it on Steam. I think I paid early adopter fees for it. I bought it early access or whatever it was for like $40. Price later went up to like $90, and then no one bought it, so it dropped to $5. But it was a heck of a fun game.
How is your cocktail, Jeff? Good. The only bad part I was thinking during Mixology March was that the fact that most of our beers are 12 ounces.
Yeah.
Or bombers, and cocktails 4 or 5 at standard is what it's supposed to be. You can have maybe an 8.
Typically for a craft cocktail, so not. You can throw sodas and some things like that, like a Gin Ramos Fizz or something like that. You can throw those style in there as well, and those can get upwards of 10, 12 ounces after you add soda or get yourself a nice Cuba Libre. But yeah, a standard cocktail is 6 ounces after dilution. Exactly. I put 3.5 ounces into this and then shook it with ice.
Yeah, because I think it's supposed to be, from my understanding, at least Oregon State liquor, you can't have a cocktail over like 4.5 ounces of liquor.
Right.
And then so everything else.
Right. Yeah, total volume is fine. There's an ABV limit and there's a spirit volume limit.
Yeah. And but so you have to
calculate the actual amount of ethanol that's inside of it. You also have to say no more.
I'm not talking like Everclear, but your standard cocktail,
right?
It rounds out to be like, okay, it can only be like 4.5 ounces,
right? And
then you have to add some other stuff into it, something like that. But they're going a lot faster than our beers, Jeff.
Well, see, I like cocktails because I'm a sipper. So I've learned to be a little bit more of a fast drinker since I started this channel because I kind of had to be.
Yeah.
But I love making a cocktail and just like taking an hour to drink it.
Now, I like that if I make it extra strong.
Yeah.
So if I make, especially majority of my time,
you're totally right.
Okay, majority of the time, the two things I usually have for a cocktail is either, it's not even a cocktail. It's either something straight with like a dash of bitters or a simple syrup, or an old fashioned. But it's like I make a double old fashioned, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch a movie, and this is my drink.
Yeah.
Type of a thing. Here's my drink, and that usually lasts about 50 minutes to an hour for that drink. To where this, I cut it with beer.
Right.
Kind of light.
Yep. But no, I love a good sidecar. I was a little dubious on using Irish in a sidecar, but I was looking for Irish whiskey based cocktails, and someone said make a sidecar out of it, and I went, yeah, why not? Let's give that a shot. I'm actually really impressed. The Jameson stands up very well in here, and it was a good mulligan going with the orange liqueur over the triple sec, over the Monarch.
Monarch's just the syrupy. It's basically
it's
syrupy,
yeah. But
I don't mind it for 99% of cocktails if I'm in a hurry.
I have Monarch triple sec because it's $6, and because if you make Cosmos or drinks like that you need a 1/4 ounce of triple sec, there's no sense in spending $30 on a bottle of triple sec.
Yeah.
And so I keep this around because at a 1/4 ounce volume in a 4 ounce drink, it's perfect. It's exactly what you need. You don't need this huge flavor profile. You just need that little touch of orange and dryness to it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I use it. But when you start asking me to put in 3/4 of an ounce, I go, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, now what you need to do, at least sometime before the end of this month, whether for the Patreon or the maybe your channel, but I'd probably or Float Plane or whatever, you need to do your like Simple Man's the basic bar video.
My 12 bottle bar.
Your 12 bottle bar, the cost of it. You really should do that video, and then maybe like here's a couple of cocktails I can make with that. Simple Man, the 12 bottle bar.
Yep.
And that would be, I think, really cool.
No, that's actually a video that I'm planning on doing as the special or the premium video or one of the premium videos this month. There will probably be at least 2 premium videos this month since I didn't get one out last month. Or I think I got one out on like the 1st, but I wanted to do a second one, but then my basement flooded. So
there's that. So,
excuse me.
So remember to join if you want to watch those. Those are going to be fantastic because also it's Jeff in a slightly different environment. More of his, this is what I really enjoy, but I don't know how to film it yet.
Yeah.
So those will be fun. There was another tech news story that came out today. Not that it matters because
I will say I LOL'd at the Linus video. I watched Linus's video of it today.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I'm not gonna sit down and watch the release of another graphics card, and it's the game changing card that blah 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 blah, and we'll have stock of it. We promise. Yeah, you promised the last 4 launches.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm not gonna do that. I want to just catch someone's bullet points and move on. So I turned on Linus's video at like 10:30 or something like that, and at the beginning of the video, it's Linus sitting there and he's got a scowl on his face, and I went, all right. And someone's throwing balls of paper at his head from the side. He's like, what are you doing? They're like, I'm launching paper at you.
Okay, that's funny. That was I will bet you that was a last minute idea. And like, I got a great idea, and watch me do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably like, I got an idea. What do we do with this video? And someone went like clapped and just, I got this idea. Yeah. Because that just sounds like one of those organic ideas. It's not plans. Like, oh yeah, just go with it. Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm throwing paper. I'm launching paper at you.
I'm launching paper at you. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's a great line.
It was great. Yeah. So if you're not aware of what we're talking about, AMD held a press conference remotely this morning announcing their all-new AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT, the next graphics card you will never physically own.
Yep. And it's a $479, so right in that meaty budget of the 3060 Ti, 3070. Yeah. It's all basically the same specs. It's supposed to be killer. They promise it'll be out with, no, it's not going to be out. So whatever, 12.4 teraflops, 9 point, whatever, you know, you're not going to be able to touch it. So it doesn't really matter. You're going to see a couple of YouTubers get it. There's going to be a little bit of performance, but then I'm betting right now those YouTubers are going to complain you're not going to be able to get this. Honestly, if they're a good YouTuber, they should say that.
Right. I mean, you can review the product as the product stands. I've been on the fence about this one because I actually got asked to do a 0-day review of this one. I haven't returned the phone call yet. And it's not because I don't want the card or I don't want to look at it. My problem is no one can buy it. Yeah. And so why am I looking at it? Like, for future comparison's sake, yeah, sure, we can know where this card performs and when it hits the secondhand market 2 years from now. But I'm sure I'll do a video then on, is a 6700 XT on the used market worth it? So I don't know. Like, yeah, I am unenthused by any graphics card right now, except for the GTX 690s. Like, I love those things.
I mean, we were.
I put them on the wall behind me, by the way.
Oh yeah, there they are. Look at that. Oh wait, where's your? Never mind. Oh, I don't know if you did it, so I'm not going to say it. But 6 months. It was 9 months ago. We were talking about before all these launches, and we were all excited about this. Yeah. And the whole tech community was excited about this.
When the 3090 launched?
Yeah.
I was considering dropping $1,500. Like, here's my money.
Yeah, and it's just nowhere. It's nowhere. Even today, I was even thinking messengers like, man, you know what? I want to do a little bit more editing. Jeff, can you get me a 3090? Yeah. But it's like, I know it's pointless. No one's got it. And then if he's going to say yes, it's going to be marked up, Yeah. So... But it's just a weird feeling because there were so many good cards from both companies coming out this year. AMD actually is rocking really good stats on these cards.
They're kicking butt.
But they...
I went ahead and did a review of the 6800 Nitro Plus. That card is freaking amazing from Sapphire. That card is dynamite. It peaked at 72C, I think, in my testing. It blew my 2080 away. Yeah. And it was like, this card is freaking amazing. Too bad. Not only don't I even get to keep this, I had to send it back because they had such limited stock. It's more valuable to them in another reviewer's hands than it is to me in 2 or 3 more videos down the road. Yeah. But you can't get it either. And
I know. I don't know what to say. That's like, it's just both companies really screwed over their customers, their customer base. It's just like, how could you do that?
It's not necessarily. It's hard to pin 100% of the blame on NVIDIA or AMD for the graphics card shortages. They have retail channels in place where they sell to distributors sell those to retail channels, and retail channels sell those to end users. Right now, the main problem is the distributors are going, who will give us the best price for this? Well, it's not the retail chains, because the retail chains aren't going to pay MSRP or aren't going to pay above MSRP. But you know what? This other guy will buy 70 of them from us for a 30% markup. True. And so the problem right now is not an issue of AMD raising the prices or NVIDIA not making enough chips. The issue right now is the distributors, the middle line, is selling it to whoever gives them the best dollar, which they're in this to make money. They don't give a crap about the product they're carrying. All they care about is the return. To be perfectly honest, NVIDIA and AMD also kind of don't care about gamers. It's a little bit more of a stretch. There are individuals there who are passionate, but AMD and NVIDIA and Intel and all the board partners, they're beholden to their stockholders. And their job is to make money, which they're doing hand over foot right now. So it's kind of hard to look at them with a negative light when their business is doing so well, because I can't buy a graphics card to play games at a higher resolution or faster frame rate.
Well, there's that, but then I wonder because it does come down to, their shareholders, but because of this, is this painting a bad light on them, forcing their stock to go down, which is their shareholders? And so if that does dip down 3-4 points, that's a lot for them.
Right.
It might,
but the thing is, gamers aren't the ones who own stock options.
No. But the shareholders, I'm saying, well, unless it's GameStop.
Right.
But people in the comments. Yeah, I know. Darn it, I lost my train of thought.
Something champagne room, John.
I couldn't resist. It was
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know. I won't blame both companies at fault 100%, but there is a good chunk. I think there is some
blame. There is
some blame on their side. And I wonder what because we're the consumer end, I don't know what the damage control is. To me, it seems really bad. So in reality, it's probably at least 60% less as bad, but still, to me as a business, I don't know. Maybe they have these projections that they have figured out that we just got to hold out and we're going to make bank. Because these graphics cards, no matter what, in the future, it's showing an amazing progress that the path that both of these companies are on. Mm-hmm. And so they're basically saying, look, NVIDIA, AMD's in the game now. AMD is a talker.
AMD's in both games right now.
Exactly. And so
when's the last we've been craving competition in the CPU and GPU space for the last CPUs for the last 9 years, since Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge came out and kicked the living hell out of the FX chips. Yeah. But even beyond that, you look at the gaming space, at the GPU space, and the last time AMD was on top was with the 7900 series cards, which was the precursor to the R9 200 series, which was the precursor to the R9 300 series, which was the precursor to the RX 400 series, RX 500. Then there was that brief little stint with 600, and now we're on to the 55,000 and 6,000. It's been quite a few generations since AMD has been competitive at both the top and the bottom at the same time. And the incredibly frustrating thing is, this is usually when consumers win. This is usually when prices get driven down, when people are happy to sell you for 10% under MSRP because you bought their product. This is not... Competition is good for the consumer almost all the time, except when when demand is still exceeding supply.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's kind of that perfect storm where they upped the performance so much, it's so profitable to mine on right now. Again, because we thought we were dead and done. Like ASIC miners are taking over everything, and GPUs are out of the way. Wait, what? You went to
everything just bounced back up.
You went to 7 and 5 nanometer, and all of a sudden we're profitable again. Cool. I'm gonna buy every single one you have.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard. I do enjoy competition. I think, unfortunately, we're all probably going to have to wait closer to the next gen. By the time all the shelves refill, next gen stuff is going to be already announced and be like, oh, it's 6 months away.
Yeah.
But our shelves are full of our old stuff.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to be like, well, we have our old stuff still in stock. We barely have any of the new stuff. So that's great for us probably in the long run, because the people that are patient, not the early adopters, are going to be able to hopefully get those first generation ones these generation ones even cheaper.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's annoying. It's frustrating for people. Anyone that just wants a graphics card to upgrade. I mean, even the cheapest graphics cards now, just to do something, they're gone. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, perfect storm. Hard, but I'm glad. I think the future is a brighter future because of the competition, because we have these two companies, especially AMD, being very competitive in both GPU and CPU markets. And it's going to be a fantastic future, I think, as long as both can compete. And if I'm betting Intel's going to show something really soon. And weren't they supposed to release the graphics card?
Intel, yes. They did kind of release the DG1, but it's only for integrated board partners. Okay. And so it's going to be CPU tied into Rocket Lake as an expansion card, or available on their mobile chipsets.
Okay, for some reason, I think it was a mobile one. I was thinking, I could have, So, but anyway, I still think it stinks we can't get it now, and it's very, very frustrating, especially currently for a consumer, because I do have some money to burn. I want to burn it because I see the greatness in it. It's so hard, and by the time it's going to be out, they're already going to be teasing me with something better.
Yeah.
It's putting a sour note in my mouth that I don't even want to give you my money now. So
right. And like I said, I received a phone call today asking me to review a next gen AMD card. I don't know that I'm going to even accept it, because number one, I don't know that anyone will watch it. I don't know that anyone cares, because no one can buy it anyway. And so am I going to put the time into benchmarking? Which benchmarking takes for freaking ever. It's a new graphics card launch, regardless of the graphics card, is low end. It's low end 20 hours of benchmarking.
I was gonna say it's probably like a 48-hour shoot.
It's probably upwards of 30 to 35.
Because
full in for benchmarking, filming, editing, graphics work, everything that goes into it. I mean, I've got the process streamlined, kinda, but they are long, intensive shoots. And the thing is, NVIDIA likes to give you the drivers 3 days before launch.
Yeah, and then how many times do NVIDIA drivers and there was a bug in it, sorry, 2 months later,
not even that,
it's fixed.
But but you have literally 72 to 96 hours, depending on when you get the driver. The last release, the 3060 Ti release, Media got the drivers 96 hours before the embargo date, which means they had 4 days to do 20 hours of testing, and then
probably 8 to 10 hours of editing.
Right.
Depending upon
8 hours of editing, depending on the graphics workload and what your charts look like and all that kind of stuff. Do all of your scripting, do all of your filming, all of your B-roll, all of your comparison. And by the way, depending on the graphics card, what comparisons do you need to draw? Which is why the benchmarking takes so long. And I've talked about this before. Like, one graphics card benchmark at one resolution on 10 games is 10 times. It's
20 minutes a piece, isn't it?
Usually about. I've got mine down to about 10 minutes per run. Maybe even some games I've got down to 5 minutes per run.
And you're doing them physically. You're not auto.
I'm doing them physically because I'm actually doing the gameplay, because that's how the benchmarks work.
That's even harder.
Right. And so I have my runs down to where I'm doing repeated sections that are about 5 minutes a piece. But you test each one a minimum of 3 times. And then you look at the results and say, are the results consistent with one another? Because I know this section of the game should be consistent. And if it's not, find out what variable you ticked or didn't tick or whatever else. Check your driver, check everything else to make sure. Yeah, one game will take me 2 hours sometimes. Even though it's 15 minutes of benchmarking, it's making sure the results are accurate. And everyone else will back me up on that one. Let's see. Nathan says, is it just me or does the video look better quality than normal? Yes. It does look better. So
I know. Thank you, Jeff. I think it does look, I mean, I look fantastic.
You look great, man. You look great. So I did get a new camera, and thanks to last week, I forget who donated, but someone donated $200 on Super Chat to buy me this lens, which is the Tokina 11-16 f2.8. And let me just say, this is the 16 millimeter. Here's the 11. Like, I freaking love this lens.
Oh no, yeah. We were saying like early on, it's like, oh, that view right there is such a great. When I'm cut out, is such a great
look at this
shot. That's a great looking shot. I was telling Jeff, like, that needs to be the new, like, oh, when I'm talking, that's a good shot.
Yeah. No, this shot is incredible. This lens is so incredibly crisp. Yeah, so my video is definitely taken a step up.
Not mine.
I was shooting for a while on a Sony a5100. I sold that late last year to consolidate down to the Sony ZV-1. And then I was on the Sony ZV-1 for probably the last couple of months at least. I think since maybe November.
And this is for your streaming camera, your live streaming.
For this camera. Yeah. This camera is much bigger.
Yeah, I don't want people to think that that's what you've been doing the whole time.
Right, no. Hold on. I think I can do this one too.
Can you get it? Can you unlock it? You got the quick lock?
Have a battery in it? It's not turning on.
You have the AC on it?
Oh,
and it's dropped.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got that camera too, which looks something like this.
That's a horrible shot.
Well, the camera's just within reach, so
I know.
Good Lord.
It's such a horrible shot.
There we go. Now you got crispy video again.
There you go. That's good.
So yeah, so this is the Zcam E2 with the Sigma 18-35 f1.8 with a speed booster on it. This is an incredible lens.
Oh yeah, you're coming in nice. Actually, you know what's really nice is too, you have the glow.
The glow
behind the glow. That looks great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that wall is a little plain. Other than that, it would be a good shot.
Well, I designed the studio to look this way.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you include the bar gives it that warmth.
Yeah.
So your regular background is kind of a cool coffee, esque mocha thing, but the bar brings a nice orange wood look to it. That warm browns and orange.
Yeah. Well, I've
got
the Edison bulb right above it.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you do the wider angle shot, it is such a good looking shot.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, I did get a new camera specifically for streaming. This is the Zcam E1, which was released, almost 6 years ago, I want to say. But it's a Micro Four Thirds action cam, which are two words that really don't go together. But it's a Micro Four Thirds sensor, slightly smaller than a standard Micro Four Thirds. So there's a 2.3 crop instead of a 2.0 crop. But you can still mount it with a speed booster and an EF lens. And if you've got something like a Tokina 11-16 f2.8, holy crap, this thing is awesome. This is essentially like an 18 to 27 mil lens. And so I can get nice and wide. I can get nice and tight. I don't need that much on the wide end to do a lot of zoom. And for a webcam, this thing kicks butt. I paid way more than I probably should have for this camera. It was $350 for the body, but I found a retailer who was selling it as an open box demo unit, where it was sitting on their shelf for years. And so this was a brand new camera. Yeah. So I went, I'll pay the $350. By the way, it was the only one listed on eBay when I was searching.
I'd take it.
Right.
I'd take it.
and it'll do.
You find another one, you let me know.
No, absolutely.
I will
as a B cam, they're incredible.
Yeah, I want that as a B cam.
Yeah. No, that's exactly why I bought it. Is I can't pass up that deal. And I almost bid on a second one. I was bidding on a second one, and I was trying to snipe it with under 60 seconds left. It was at $175, and I went, I'm just going to bet 330. Just go
if
anyone
it.
tries to snipe it, they can stair step me up, and I don't care if it hits 330, it's fine. 372 is what it sold at. And I went, oh,
so much. You're like, I should have done 380. 380.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, you can also get really good B cams for under $400. That while they're not Micro Four Thirds, you can get something like a Sony RX100 Mark IV or Mark V that do shoot 4K 30 on an SD card. They shoot in Sony Log. They have HDMI live out. They're great cameras. And so I was going, I like this camera. I have lenses for it. Like I've got a 14 mil Micro Four Thirds f2.8, which would be about a 32 on this camera. But I bought this to be a webcam and to be a time-lapse camera. And so if I'm doing kind of time-lapse work, this is a heck of a lot better than throwing a GoPro or a GoPro knockoff in the corner.
And that's what I was actually looking at today was a GoPro. Because I went and, like I said, with my cocktail video, I tried doing a second camera. I was like, my phone's pretty good. I'll try that. Yeah, it's like, it's okay. I was happy with okay, this is the first time doing it. I'm a smaller channel, so it's fine. I can experiment. I see the benefits, but that's what thing. It awoke me to, if only I had this.
Yeah.
And I almost though do think I would prefer a Sony just because I already have a lens for that. So it would probably help me with my budget.
Yes.
And I can just swap the lenses out of what I'm shooting.
Which camera did you end up buying?
A 6400.
64, okay. You can get an A6300 for $500 or less. And it's the same sensor, same recording ability, just a couple less hardware features.
And so it's really, I'd love a high-speed B cam.
Yeah.
And then that way I can do a 4K main shot.
Yeah, you can do a 4K multicam shoot. Right.
And that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that later this year. Yeah.
Yep. A couple of questions, real quick, while I'm finishing up my cocktail, because I
know. I was gonna say it's 9,
it's
and
9
we
o'clock. I paced it just about right.
Yeah.
And my next one's nice and quick. So, Brian wants to know what headset am I using? Is it stereo or mono? I'm looking for a mono wired for desk use. I am using the Sennheiser Pro IE40. These are actually in-ear musicians monitors. I had them back from when I played bass, and they're fantastic. I do have the optional microphone kit from a third party. So a third party sells a set of cables for these that has a microphone inline. The earbuds themselves are actually wired, and so you can connect them and disconnect them and do whatever you want. It is a stereo headset, but usually I use it just with one ear. Even when I'm playing, I only use one ear because I need to hear the band around me, and I'm much more of a feel bassist than a technical bassist. So
use bassist like I heard my thump.
right. But anyway, that's this headset is the Sennheiser IE40, and they're only about $100. And if you're looking for something like that, highly recommended. Let's see. Someone asked, Denver, is that a parfocal zoom? This is not a parfocal zoom yet. So if you adjust the speed booster and tune the speed booster to whatever lens you put on, you can get non-parfocal lenses to become parfocal. I have done that on my Zcam E2 because 90% of the time I'm using the Sigma 1835 on that camera. And so that speed booster is tuned to that lens, making that Sigma lens parfocal. And I'm likely going to do the same thing here. Although right now I kind of like that it's not, because you notice the background comes slightly better into focus. And so if I wanted to run a show by myself, I can say, hey, here I am doing this. I'm going to go over to the bar really quick. And now the whole scene is in focus.
Yeah. And
behind me.
That's a great shot.
And so, so I don't know that I will. There's advantages and disadvantages. Believe it or not, there are advantages to not having a parfocal lens. And then let's see. Have I looked at TrueNAS Scale yet? I have not installed TrueNAS Scale yet. Definitely on my radar. Definitely something I'm wanting to check out. Yeah.
You got a super chat from Nathan.
Nathan, $20. Thank you, Nathan. Wanted to give you a chance to gush about the new lens. I knew you got the new one from the last stream, LOL. Just wanted to make sure I supported you this week. Currently drinking a Braxton Grater's Caramel Macchiato collab. Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you, Nathan. So Nathan's the one who jumped on and basically paid for this lens. Now, not after YouTube takes 30% and eBay takes another 9%. But Nathan paid for this lens, and yeah, for that I am very grateful. I got this lens Monday. It was delivered Monday. It might have even been yesterday. And holy crap, this thing is tack sharp, and I mean tack sharp. Where my Tamron 10-24, which was the wide-angle lens I was going to use on this camera, it's pretty good. It's a good lens. It's got definitely a lot more range, but it's only an f4 to 5.6, I want to say. But it ain't this sharp. This lens makes this camera worth it. So thank you, Nathan. I sincerely appreciate it. And actually, it makes it a little easier to send one of my other cameras over to Rhett, and Rhett is going to start shooting some stuff for a second channel. So that should be starting up here pretty soon.
Yeah, so if you want more information, make sure to join the Patreon, the super secret Patreon. That's actually not super secret, but it's a super
Discord is.
Super secret Discord is, and that is after the show. But the Patreon and Discord channel and is an awesome area to join. Where honestly, actually, we kind of talked about this before, but it is so awesome. Honestly, if you think you're into tech, guess what? This Patreon, this Discord channel, it's a cheap price, but you can always do more. Minimum $1, but you can always do more. But we have car stuff, we have meme stuff, we have trade stuff, we have food stuff, we have music stuff, we have entertainment, movie, pop culture, music, computer stuff. There's a specific channel just for the talking heads to where all of our stuff goes to. It is that amazing. There are so many channels that I don't even remember. And the best part, they're all Star Trek themed.
If you couldn't have guessed already.
If you couldn't have guessed already, they are Star Trek themed. We love Star Trek here. We're not like, we don't go super into it, but again, we do love our Star Trek. It is a fantastic community. Honestly, the mods that are here, they're fantastic mods. And I don't think, from what we've seen, they don't even really have to work that hard. That's why they do it for so cheap. I mean, basically, we just pay them in compliments and we're like, oh, you guys are so great.
They pay me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, they send us stuff.
They're still patrons.
So that's how great they enjoy it. It's a fantastic, fantastic place. Honestly, it's a wonderful. I am part of other discords, other tech discords too, that I personally have to pay for. That where they drink Bud Light Orange, and it's like this is a horrible, horrible. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But I'm still paying for that,
Yep.
and it's horrible. Not as good. Not as good. Not actually. I mean, they're like. Actually, I think last time I was in there, they demoted me. That's never happened in this channel. No. So join this
We
channel.
didn't even have rankings. Everyone is equal.
Everyone is equal. That's right. So
Except,
make sure to do
except
that.
AJP does have his own role. So
Well,
he gets a special badge of honor.
Big does. We don't allow him in there.
Yeah.
So, into too many things.
Yep.
So.
You got another $5 donation. Killian's is my go-to, but what else would you suggest? Also like Modelo Especial. John, you got anything in the lager, Mexican lager?
Oh, the Mexican lager. Oh, so I have to go do what you did earlier.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I need 2 minutes, and I got your answer.
Honestly, I don't do a lot of lagers in general, and we've talked about this on the show before. So you say you don't like anything dark and you don't like anything hoppy. You're into kind of, I don't want to say a narrow field for craft beer, because there is something for everyone. But hoppy, dark, barrel aged, those are the hallmarks of craft beer. You can go reds and get something a lot more malty. You can go English. You can go German. There's things that you can venture into that aren't hoppy or dark. But if you're coming from Modelo or Killian's or something like that, you're likely looking at a lager. And a lager in the craft industry doesn't get sold all that much because we're looking at the bomber bottles, the 27-ounce bottles, and I'm going, do I want to pay $9 for a 4.5% lager, or do I want to pay $8 for an 11% barrel-aged stout? You know what? I think the stout is probably going to have more flavor. And so that's what we do. So it's not... I'm not slamming on lagers. I've had some delightful craft lagers, but none are coming to mind right now. Reds have generally fallen out of style, and it's really sad. I love me a good red, a good Irish red or a red ale, and that one hurts me. I fully agree with that, Skull. I want my reds back. I really do. Spyglass, I'm not going to say it on the air. So, and nor did I say that. There's almost a place for every beer. And I'm going to quote Whiskey Tribe on this one. The best kind of whiskey is the whiskey you like to drink, and the best way to drink it is the way you like to drink it. So, you can like whatever beer you want, and that's totally on you. And if you enjoy that, that's totally cool. All are welcome. There's no shaming, except for Bud Light Orange, because that crap is vile. Everyone secretly loves gingers. Emma, I should send more beer to Hops and Brews. He does a great job advertising for your Discord. Do you know how much John has drank for free on my account? Although at this point we're pretty much even because John owned a tap house for a while and I drank for free when he owned the tap house. So yeah. Have I tried Dragon Stout? Of course I've tried Dragon Stout. I have 2 of them in my fridge. Dragon's Milk is what you're looking at. American lagers make great beer brats. Yes, they do. Reds are getting hard to find. Yeah. There's really only a couple regular reds that are still out and about. There's Ninkasi Dawn of the Red, which is a hopped red. It's a red IPA, essentially. It's fantastic, but it is it is also an IPA. It's also a hoppy style beer. Trying to think of the last good red that I had, because it's been a while. Yeah. Why does it not surprise me that you're a magnificent bastard? It shouldn't. I have one of their shirts. I have a Whiskey Tribe shirt. So I think I talked about this last week or maybe the week before, that at one point in 2020, after I had started thinking about quitting my job and going full time, I was going to organize like a US tour of craft computing to do collaborations with other YouTubers. And Whiskey Tribe was on my list. I wanted to reach out to them and say, hey, can we shoot a video together? And while I'm down there, can I hit up Modern Rogue? You know, God, I'd love to work with Brian Brushwood. I want to go over and see Greg over in New York with How to Drink. I want to go down to Florida and drive cars with Salazar. You know, there's so many different things that I want to do. And this last year put everything to a halt. And don't worry, those things are coming. Those things will definitely happen. But, yeah. You're awesome, Craft. I'm a little late to the party. What are you drinking? I am having an Irish sidecar. It is a sidecar essentially just made with Irish whiskey. So whiskey, lemon juice, simple syrup, and triple sec. And it's delicious. It's actually one of the better sidecars I've had in a long time. Been trying to find the right mix of liqueurs for that. While John is taking care of his little one, I think I'm going to make my next drink, which is actually a fairly simple drink. So let me go grab an ice cube really quick.
All right. Oh, Jeff's ass. All right. Sorry, I had a 4-year-old be a little difficult, wanting his dad to go to sleep.
Yep.
So, and that was he is really into Candy Crush, and he had to play a single round of Candy Crush.
So I'm not going to say my ice game is the best, but
it's getting there. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's better than my just cubes.
Yeah.
Did you already say what you're doing?
I have not. There we go. See, look how sharp this lens is. You can see pores on my nose.
Oh my gosh, Jeff! No, take it back. Take it back.
So my next drink is a fairly simple one, but with an Oregon twist, shall we say?
Oh, pine?
No.
Oh.
So you're not entirely wrong. It is a gin drink. So I am gonna.
Same here.
So I am gonna make a gin and tonic of sorts. Wait.
Okay. All right.
Oh, now I'm really curious.
All right.
Did we have the same idea?
Maybe.
So I'm going to be using Oregon Spirit Dry Gin, made in the Pacific Northwest, and this stuff is freaking amazing.
Oh, that's a great gin.
Not quite as Oregon as the Vivacity Native Gin, which is, if you want to taste Oregon, that's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
But this stuff is still really good. So I'm going to do 2.5 ounces of my Oregon Dry Gin. I'm going to do, it's closer to 3. And that glass filled up quick. I'm going to do just a little splash of simple. Literally just a splash. And I've got a lime here. Again,
I'm curious what the next item will be. I don't have a ledge of lime. I wish I did.
I'm just squeezing the lime. So doing some
but
lime
you have,
juice.
at least you have fresh lime.
I do.
I do not.
Yep. I almost had to get bottled, but my wife happened to be going to the store like 2 hours ago.
I went to the store today, and I didn't go to the grocery store, but I was at the bottle shop, and they do have stuff, and they didn't have lime.
So this has been okay in Oregon for a while. I don't know if it's okay on YouTube, so I'm not going to do it on like a main video, but I went ahead and got some of this to fill in for the tonic water. So I'm not going to say it out loud, but we're going to do a blood orange tonic. How's that?
We did come up with the same thing.
Really?
I am not going to.
Oh, that's amazing. I got the Boneyard lemon.
Good. Yeah. Because I was gonna do a hop one, but hop water, Lagunitas hop water, and they ran it out, and so I was like, well, Boneyard, and then I was like, well, what's citrusy? And they got the lemon and ginger, and I was like, lemon and ginger would be really good in a gin and tonic.
Would be. Yeah.
And
I went blood orange.
Yeah, I know. I saw those right next to it, and so I was like, "Oh, but we're due." Well, we'll talk later. But yeah, I was like Boneyard, Barry, Oregon.
I do have some of the Boneyard elixirs, the cola.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
those are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had the cola.
Make
one
of those with a Cuba Libre. Do a little rum and coke with that. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially,
splash of lime, some bitters, and
I am doing the same drink. So I am going to go though with a barrel-aged gin.
Oh.
So I'm going to go a little bit darker, a little bit smokier. This is Blinking Owl's barrel-aged gin. I'm going to do the same amount, 2.5. I don't have a fresh lime, so it is just lime juice.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a very lime forward person, so I'm probably going to do at least an ounce of lime. I like a lot of it. And then I'm going to do Boneyard's lemon and ginger sparkling beverage is how they say it.
Sparkling beverage.
There is a middle part, and again, it is legal here in Oregon.
Yep.
And a few other states, but because of that, you saw the close up, so you probably know what it is.
Yep. Spoon says use the one he sent.
Yeah, I still need to do videos on those, and honestly, I will. I have it planned, but it's like one of those. I need 3 weeks to do all of them because I am not gonna chance me feeling weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, barrel aged gin and tonic with Boneyard lemon and ginger.
Yep. Cheers, John.
Cheers, Jeff. And one of my favorite glasswares from the old days of my bottle shop. One of the tap rooms. One of my neat things to bring into the Oregon area was the 8-ounce pint.
Yes.
Don't know how well this works. I mean, it works, but it's like I don't know how well.
Yeah, with the barrel gin, that one might not be the best.
It definitely needs a much more aromatic gin.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it with. I got some Roku gin, and this is a very great Japanese aromatic gin. But I love drinking this stuff straight.
Right. I have a couple other gins up there that's like, I'm not using those in cocktails.
And that's kind of what I was like, oh, what other gin do I have? Oh, I just got a barrel age. It's going to be interesting, but I don't know how well it's going to be.
Yeah, I have a Crater Lake Prohibition gin that I like drinking straight. And then I have one from Hillsboro, Oregon from Big Bottom Distillery. It's their barrel finished gin. And that stuff is incredible, although I do make one cocktail specifically with that you will see upcoming on the channel. So stay tuned. Yeah, mine's not terrible. It's by the way, I don't think either of us tried this before the show. So we're trying these cocktails.
This was a shot in the dark for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
This was gin and tonic. So I want to do a Lagunitas hop water gin and tonic, which I've had before. I love it. I think it's a fantastic, very refreshing, especially with a fresh lime.
Yeah.
2-3 slices of lime. It's fantastic, but I couldn't find it. this made me think. And also, it kind of tied into some news that we had today. Did you already do any of the news?
I did not.
Okay. We can get, these are pretty quick, so we can probably get into them and
let's hit it.
Punch them out. So recently there was actually a brewery. Let's go down the list, right? Sunken treasure was stolen. Literally, sunken treasure was stolen.
Yep.
And it was 600 liters of beer. And not old beer that you might think. You know, it wasn't a bunch of old piratey bottles. Actually, no. This was an experiment within a brewery that they wanted to barrel age 600 liters of beer underwater in a ship. And they wanted to barrel age it for 1 year or several months, but it ended up being a year. When they went down with, they collaborated with a diving institute to help them get it. When they went down at the end of the year to go and get it, it was gone. And so they are reporting that 600 liters. So someone dived down, found 600 liters of beer, and stole it. Kind of interesting. I don't remember where this was, like off the coast of like northern Russia, because I know this was a Russian shipwreck. But yeah, it was. Who would steal 600 liters of beer?
I don't. Well, John.
Okay, I do know. Yes, I would. I would. I would totally, like, if I would dive, like, oh, this is beer. It's great. It would be awesome to see a bunch of kegs underwater. But still, man, that stinks. After all that work, after all that dedication, to come back a year later, because it's not like you can afford to periodically check on this beer. You know, this is a small little local brewery that just partnered with a diving club or a diving school. And basically they dived once to put it down there and dived again to bring it back up for a whole year. And during that time, they never checked it. So it's kind of it's not a huge story, but I just thought it was a very interesting story. If you want to know more about it, the link is in the description below or in the comments, or you know what I'm talking about. There's a couple of, so Goose Island is actually one of our personal favorite seasonal beers that they released, is the Bourbon County Stout. Jeff got to have some. I still have yet to take mine away from Jeff. He's already drank a couple of them on the show. One of them I thought was mine, making me very upset. That's how good their beer is. And so they are partnering with a very probably famous candy that you might know that is released once a year. It's probably got one of the more famous commercials since me growing up in the, in the 90s was the Cadbury Egg.
Yes.
So Goose Island is partnering up with the Cadbury Creme Egg, making a Cadbury Creme Stout. As far as I know, though, unfortunately, this is only released in the UK. Because it's only brewed by Goose Island UK. It will be available on their online store, but I have not seen anything about this. So any of the UK friends, I know E-Tech, come on, give me some.
We have friends over there.
We have friends over
I've
there.
got multiple contacts I can get in touch with.
If you can get us some. So this is a 4.5% vanilla cream caramel ale that is supposed to taste like the Cadbury Creme Egg. If you are trying to be the new Easter Bunny, this might be the new egg-free beer for you. Don't know. Interesting. Actually, I haven't seen Goose Island do themed beers, partnerships, a whole lot too often. So that's, I think, is one of the more interesting things with this particular one, because majority of the time we talk about Goose Island and just the Bourbon County Stouts, or the different variants they have. They're not really known for partnering with a brand name. I do believe, though, that the reason they're doing this is that it is Cadbury's 50th anniversary. So there is that. If you are a stout lover, love that light chocolatey creaminess, you might want to go pick the Sun one up. It's only coming in at 4.5%, so it's not really going to get you too, schnockered. I think it's going to be more focused on flavors. So I think that would be a very nice thing. And then the last one, a little bit of local news, and actually it's kind of big too. It's local big news, and you might have to hit the I am 21 again, Jeff, because is that Boneyard, the place I got mine from, which is a little local place that you could not even get cans of till this year, hinted at. This has actually been a big controversy today because it was announced today. Deschutes are partnering with them, and some people are saying Deschutes bought them out. They're joining forces with Boneyard Beer. Local Oregonians will know Boneyard Beer is probably one of the most renowned craft IPAs out there. Their RPM was like one of the best, dankiest IPAs you could have ever gotten. Yeah. Next to Block 15.
Block 15 went, how did you do that?
How'd you do that? Exactly. And the mystery between Boneyard was they never did cans. They're like, nope, you can only get it in kegs. Yeah. Even when I bought them, they're like, how are you going to distribute this beer? What's the regulations you're going to do it? You can only sell it during this time. You can't do this. Yeah. And so they were very strict until previous, 2020. Yeah. They were forced to do some stuff to change their sale tactics. And so, but apparently the original head brewer that started Boneyard was an original brewer at Deschutes 15, 20 years ago when Deschutes opened up 31 years ago. Yeah. So there was already that relationship, and Deschutes is pretty, at least West Coast, mid United States, pretty well known. They're still independent. They're one of the, I think, the third largest brewery in the West Coast. Yep. Second largest in Oregon. Yeah. Something around that,
Yeah, they're up there with Widmer is in front of them, and then it's Deschutes. And,
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, everyone knows Widmer for the Widmer Hef because it's at every airport and every bar you've ever been to in your life. And Deschutes is one of the few craft beers that you can get nationwide.
Yeah, it's got the fresh green, the Mirror Pond, there's a couple other
Blackbeard Porter.
Blackbeard Porter, thank you.
Yeah, so what's really funny is I've told this before. I was in Wisconsin one time, and me and one of my colleagues, we were looking for craft beers that we could try or cocktails that we could try, and we struck out like 4 days in a row at different bars. Like, oh yeah, we've got 15 taps: Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. Yeah, like that was their tap list. That was a tap house in Wisconsin. Was 17 domestics, a Widmer Hef, and a New Glara Spotted Cow. That was their tap list. And we found an Irish pub in the middle of flippin' nowhere. And they had 2 Deschutes beers on tap. So there was a Blackbeard Porter and there was a Mirror Pond. And I ordered the Blackbeard Porter first, and my buddy ordered the Mirror Pond, and then we swapped on the next round.
No, I mean, Blackbeard Porter is probably a lot of people's also introduction to craft beer because it's a very pleasant stout to go in, a porter dark beer to go into. Dark beers are usually a very easy gateway beer to jump into.
Sorry, I've got to call this out. Stressmaster says Wisconsin Appleton Fox River Mall. Yes.
So he knows exactly what you're talking about.
That Irish pub is freaking awesome. Their cocktails were great. Their tap menu was outstanding. They had 36 touts, and there's not a single thing in there that I'm like, I really don't want that. Like, everything on the list was fantastic. Not only that, but the food was great too. But no, that's freaking funny. Then I went, I went to an Irish pub in Wisconsin. He goes, oh yeah, Appleton, Fox River Mall.
So
It's the only one in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it probably is actually. So there is some lure. So literally, this story broke like an hour before this show, or before I had to, like 4 o'clock, and it was everyone's asking questions because they are not technically claiming they bought Boneyard out. They're not technically claiming that they're just collaborating. No one quite knows.
It is, we've joined forces with Boneyard. We are now one in the same.
What does that mean?
Which usually means money exchanged hands in some way, shape, and form.
Yeah, money exchanged hands, and I own 49% now. That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
Or we purchased a majority stake, which means we can tell you whatever we want to tell you. Like, it could certainly be that as well.
Well, the interesting, I would love to see it sounds to me that because they are collaborating, they're old brothers in brew, because they also used to the main brewer of Boneyard used to brew for Deschutes, and they stated that in the article that they're all friends. I'm betting they're basically, Deschutes is just going to put them under their brand name and throw their distribution and take, a 30% cut, something like that.
Right.
Because their IPA is an extremely well done West Coast style IPA. Yeah. They do make very great core beers. And the one thing I have to ding Boneyard is they don't venture off too far. They have core beers, and they sell their core beers,
and their core beers sell a hell of a lot.
And they sell a hell of a lot. But I think because honestly, I've been to their tap room. Their brewery and tap room is the size of my garage.
Yeah.
And they just recently in 2019
they have 2
expanded.
vats. That's it.
Yeah.
They have 2 vats.
Yeah. And it wasn't until 2019 they were like, we're going to expand. And so they were operating for 10 years plus in a space that is the size of a standard 2-car garage. I'm not kidding you. It was amazing that they were just cranking out 24/7 beer to just supply Oregon with beer. Yeah. And then so I think that's kind of what it was. Is Deschutes says, look, you guys got a great brand, you got a great product. Let's take your beer. Let's distribute it. Maybe this might be that Boneyard might start tinkering some stuff locally. Yeah. Like Deschutes is going to take over the RPM, the hot venom. What was the stout that you had? Yeah, the stout that you had. Suge Knight.
Oh, Suge Knight. Oh, God,
Suge Knight was Boneyard.
Right?
And now that can be distributed in a bottle. Oh. The one story that Jeff has of like, I went too far is with a Boneyard beer.
Right. I drank too much. It was because there was the 14% Boneyard Suge Knight.
Yeah.
That beer is incredible. And let me tell you, it sneaks up on you.
Yeah. So if we can get
especially when you have 7 of them
to bottle that, because right now currently it's only available in keg. And then spread it nationwide. I'm down for that because Deschutes has a great quality control. So I'm excited, but yet still at the same time, I don't know what technically is going on. And it stinks that because I know the reason behind this, why this happened, but it could be a blessing in disguise. So
Scott just filled me in that it's Dame time apparently, and Dame hit a winning 3-point shot against the Warriors, 108-106 final.
Nice.
Blazers take down the Warriors.
Can't wait for the second half of the season.
Yep.
How has he not gotten MVP status every year? He's always in contention.
He's now in the conversation. Here's what I'll say. We're gonna get into like 5 minutes of basketball ranting. Are you ready? Let's go. Dame is one of those players that it's like you never know what you've got until it's gone. Now, Portland knows what they have. Portland knows who Damian Lillard is. Portland traded up in the draft to get him at number 7 because everyone else was sleeping on him. Yeah. And when we got Dame Lillard, it was a celebration like I've not heard in a long time in Portland. I mean, we were thrilled to get Greg Oden, don't get me wrong, but when we drafted Damian Lillard, we needed a point guard for the future, and that was it.
Oh, and he showed himself the first year, too.
And the first game, first game, he went head-to-head against Kobe.
Yeah.
His first game in the NBA, he's dropping threes on Kobe and going back and forth and John with him. And it's like, this, and Kobe said it best, this boy is serious. So I think he dropped like 28 points with Kobe guarding him. Like, he goes, you can't touch me. And yeah, it's been lights out ever since. And I heard it said best the other day, your favorite NBA player is Damian Lillard. He's the one that other players look up to. He's the one that they say, he's got the work ethic, he's got the skills, he has the raw talent and the desire and the drive.
I wouldn't say the rap battle. Don't put that in there. Don't put his rap game in there.
He's still probably the best rapper in the NBA, but that's
maybe, but
that's only since Diesel left. Like,
yeah, like just stop that part.
Yeah,
that's the one part. Like, dude, don't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna diss on his rap game. I'm not. But
I've heard it enough. It's like, yeah.
Says rant doesn't trigger rant alert. I'm not ranting yet.
He's not ranting yet. No, not even close.
Yeah.
This is but honestly, I can't think of a 3-point. He's an awesome point guard and a 3-point shooter. I don't know anyone that can do the 3-point shots or some of the shots that he does.
What's funny is Steph Curry got famous for it. I mean, Steph Curry was an incredible. Steph Curry is a lot like Dame Lillard, but Steph Curry won a couple titles.
But that's not because of Steph Curry. It's because of his supporting staff.
No, I will say a big chunk of it is from Steph Curry.
Oh no. Okay,
like a big chunk.
But it is a big help that he has a big supporting staff. It is
You're
not
not
always on the burden of Steph Curry.
Right.
To where currently the Blazers are kind of plagued with injury.
Right.
They have great players.
As is Portland basketball. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Let's define Portland basketball. Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, Sam Bowie.
You know what Portland basketball is, though? Portland basketball is let's go all out all the time.
Yep.
Ah, crap, we got hurt.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Every single time I get excited for a season. So I'll get
5 games, and then someone goes all out, and then I'm hurt.
So I'm a fan of 2 professional sports franchises. I'm a fan of the Detroit Lions, and every time I get excited, we underperform. And every time I get excited for Portland, someone gets hurt or multiple someones get hurt. That happened 2 years ago when we were getting hot. We had won like 12 in a row. We were playing the Nets, and Nurkic goes down.
Yep.
Goes down with a brutal
bad leg.
Oh, I literally started sobbing.
It was bad.
I mean, not even like as a sports fan, just as like as a human being, like watching him go down with that injury.
Yeah.
And at that time, and knowing what that
it
meant.
It was even still technically the first quarter of the season, the first half of the season.
No, that was March.
Was it?
It was March. It was like after the All-Star break, let's ramp up for the playoffs. It was like the 3rd or 4th game back from the All-Star break.
Oh.
And he breaks his leg in 2 places.
Yeah, I remember that.
And non-contact injury just comes down.
He fell wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And not even fell wrong, just stepped wrong. And
no, I thought he went for a rebound. He went
for a rebound and landed flat on his feet, and one of his legs went, nope.
Yep, yeah. And it was just
but back to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is, I know I'm a fan. I know I'm a Blazers fan. But when the media is finally starting to look at stats and figures and shot percentages and everything else, they go, Curry got famous really, I mean, for the couple of titles, but people used to say that Dame has Curry range until they figured out that Curry has Dame range. because Dame shoots them from further away at a higher percentage.
Higher percentage. Way higher percentage.
Way higher percentage.
45, 44% from half court.
Yes. Yeah. Dame shoots at 38% from 35 feet plus.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple. Lillard came back and he drained a 3 to win the game, and it was like 4 or 5 feet from the line, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's back!" And then I commented on there like, "Damian Lillard does that from like 10 feet further back."
Right.
I don't know why you guys are celebrating. This is nothing.
Damian Lillard took Paul George. By the way, the defending defensive champion of the year. The defensive player of the year defending champ, guarding Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard took him on a simple crossover step back.
Yeah.
From 40 feet.
Oh, I mean,
by the way, he waved off a screen. He said, no, I got this fool. And he pulled up and he drained it from 40 feet to end a series. And Curry's never done that.
No,
I mean, Curry's got range. I'm not dissing on Curry, but people are finally starting to wake up to what Lillard can do.
That's the thing.
And what Lillard has been doing.
I think Curry honestly has a little bit of a faster shot than Dame, but Dame's range is much greater in percentage. Although, okay, hang on. There are few cases of Dame just throwing it and literally just like, oh my god, that's an amazing shot.
I will say from the Pats and catch game. So if Curry is playing off the ball and Curry runs around a screen and gets a pass, his pull-up speed is incredible. I will give that one to Curry. What I will say is on ball, when Dame is dribbling a guy down, Dame's footwork, ball handling, etc.
Oh, yeah,
is a generation in front of Curry.
Yes. Oh, I'll agree. Although
his ability to create his own 3-point shot, not just hit the open jumpers.
His like reach and over back step is amazing. Yeah. Although actually, I don't know the stat. What is the height difference?
Dame is 6'2". I am taller than Damian Lillard.
Yes, and for a point guard, he's not the tallest. He's not the shortest. He's actually pretty mid.
No, he's short. He's short for a point guard. He's 6'1".
And
6'1",
Steph
6'2".
like 6'4"?
I think Steph is 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah, and so technically, honestly, I think people judge that. It's he's a shorter guy. That's right. That's why he's faster.
Right.
And no, it's harder for a 6'4" guy to do the things that a 6'2" guy does.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the fault comes. And it's like, no, there's skill for skill. I don't care. Like, honestly, I am more entertained by Damian Lillard. And like, we've gone to Blazer games together, and we were just like, you literally broke the suite we were in.
I might have punched a hole in the ceiling. I'm also 6'5", and I got excited and I threw my hands up to go, and I punched a hole through the drop ceiling in the Blazers.
We were there, and that's a live game. I understand that's a live game, but just watching, like, I don't know, Steph Curry play, it's not technically as exciting because I guess it's almost like watching the Lakers now. It's like, oh, you bought a dream team.
I'll say this. There are a couple of players in all of sport. I don't care what the sport is, but all of sport, who when they have the ball in their hands and there's 60 seconds left in the clock, the entire stadium goes and collectively holds their breath. You can hear it. You can feel it. There are a very select few.
I got a great.
There are even fewer. Well, let's just say at any point in the game, if Barry Sanders got the ball, you went and he either got 3 yards or he got 60. And he could do both with equal regularity.
No, here it is. It is more like Brett Favre as the quarterback, the wild quarterback that was I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to throw this amazing throw, and he had the stats to do it.
Right. And Antonio Freeman is going to be there.
It's going to be
there.
And think it's a bit more, or it's going to be disappointing. But
right.
Brett Favre got the ball.
Yeah.
Throw it, do something with it, and I want to watch that.
Tim says Curry is a better 3-point shooter, bro. Scoreboard, bro. No. Stat board, bro.
No. Curry hits
now they're
twos.
They're 1-2 in the NBA. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
no, because are they on threes? Because I don't. Well, this year Curry just came back because last year he had a bad injury.
Yeah.
So, and then this year his couple of re-entry games were amazing games, stats wise, amazing games. But they're not doing so well as far as playoffs. I don't. But that makes me think again because look, that's the difference. That's why I've always thought the difference of Curry and Lillard. Lillard is literally holding the team right now as the whole team is injured.
By the way, I just pulled up the Dame Lillard winning 3 from tonight just to give it a look.
Yeah?
It was a step back 33-footer.
Okay, I gotta watch this.
Like, career percentage? Yeah, Curry's up. Yeah, no. Look from Curry range. Exclude 3-point shots under 27 feet. Anyway. I want to watch John. For once, it was front page ESPN. For once, the Blazers actually mattered.
Oh. Yep. Oh, God. That's...
Step back 8 feet behind the line.
Yep.
Just
way.
Yeah.
He literally did a signature dump. I'm going to jump and good to go.
Yeah.
Now, it's not his furthest range, but that was a great 3, and they didn't have him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, too, look, the Blazers are down 4 of their starters.
3.
Yeah. And
Warriors, by the way, they're also 5th in the West.
Yeah. And they're holding a very nice stat right now. And everyone is supposed to come back within the next 3 to 4 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yep.
And so basically the whole end of the season, they're supposed to have their full roster back.
They're supposed to have 2 of them back. Zach Collins is still up in the air, but CJ is already in the gym. Unrestricted, and he'll be back after the All-Star break, and then Nurk should be back shortly thereafter.
Yeah, well, CJ could have technically come back a couple weeks ago, but they said, give it like 2 more weeks.
Yeah, we were winning, so why
push
risk
it?
Yeah,
exactly. And but that's I guess the difference is Damian is used to that pressure.
Yep.
I don't know if Steph is. I gotta carry the team.
I think that's unfair.
Because no, Steph, how many of his championship seasons?
But look at where the Golden State Warriors came from. The Golden State Warriors were worse than the Blazers when Steph came into the league, and Steph's been with them the entire time. And Steph
hasn't won a championship till they bought more players to help him out.
Yeah, but Portland's always been looking for that missing piece. I think that's an overdone argument.
But now, whoa, because how often have the Blazers been in the playoffs? So technically, it's almost been
Dame's been there 6 out of the 9 years.
Yeah, and
7 out of 9 years.
And then the Warriors. How often have they been there without a supporting super multi-billion-dollar team?
Well, that's how you build the team. And the thing is, the Blazers always knew we had a weakness somewhere. It was either wing defense. It was we didn't have a center. Finally, we got a center, and CJ gets hurt. I'm not
dissing the Blaze. I do diss the Blazers recruiting.
No. Look at the team that Dame came in and they built around him immediately. It was LaMarcus Aldridge, Robin Lopez, Wesley Matthews, and Nick Batum, who, by the way, 3 of the 4 of those are still starters in the NBA for different teams.
Yeah.
And then Rolo has been bouncing around from team to team. And I think Rolo is starting this year. But you've got 2 bona fide all-stars that were on Lillard's team with him. and LaMarcus doing his own thing, going, you know what, I want to be the man. Like I was brought in to be the man, and then Brandon Roy took over, and then I was the man for 2 years, and then who's this Lillard guy who comes in and he's getting all the hype?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, LaMarcus, if you would show up for more than 4 games a season, maybe people would take you seriously. And for one season, he did, and it was incredible. And we beat the Rockets in 5 games or in 6 games. But yeah, so
I don't know.
And then he left to go to the Spurs to get an easier path to the championship, and then the Blazers lasted 1 day less in the playoffs than he did.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will be right back. So,
but I don't know. I just don't like. I guess I don't like the aspect of most of the teams, especially right now. Hey, let's throw money. Let's get that super team going. And we were the greatest. We were the greatest team ever. Blah blah blah. And that's what the LA Lakers did early on with Kobe and Shaquille. That's at least how I feel. That's what I believe. The Warriors followed suit past that. It's and the Spurs on top of that. I think there are just too many teams buying their way. I think Jeff had to go pee. He couldn't hold it. Honestly, I have to too, but I'm a man and I'm gonna hold it, and it's almost 10. Guys over the NBA. Yeah. What else do we got? So we only have a few more minor things. We got 2 more game entertainment stuff, and then we'll probably take some Q&A, and we'll probably be around for 15 more minutes. But again, I do have to stress that there is a super secret after show afterwards on the Patreon. There's usually like 25 to 30 people on there. It is a fantastic thing. And you usually last about 2 hours longer. So if you are liking this content and you want a little bit more uncensored, friendly, let's ask questions, let's do whatever stuff, it is the Patreon. It is a minimum of $1 to join. Thank you, Big Spoon, for $1.99. He's basically trying to say, join the super secret, awesome section of Hops and Brews. So you want to subscribe to that. I'm going to promote myself while Jeff's not here. But no, really, honestly, the Patreon at Craft Computing is an amazing after show. It is legitimately only $1, but if you'd love to do more, it really does put the lights on at Jeff's house. It helps unflood his basement every other month, because it seems that every 3 to 4 months, somehow a pump breaks. So who knows? But yeah. Oh, there he is. He's back. So basically, I was saying my hatred for teams that buy superstars for championships. And then I stated, hey, we've gone too long on NBA talk, and we have 2 more things to talk about, and it's 10 o'clock.
Let's hit them. So first off, Mediatonic. You might not know the name, but you probably know the game. They are the creators of Fall Guys. They are the latest, I guess, acquisition. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That is the proper term.
By Epic Games. So Fall Guys is now an Epic Games studio to go along with the Rocket League studio. Let's find a fun game that everyone is getting into and kill it.
Yep. Let's buy it and put it on
Which with Fall Guys they got into like 6 months late. So
yeah, but whatever. I mean, like, hey, let's put it on the Epic Game platform. You have to download it now from Epic Games, and it crashed. Ah, dang it! I got to reboot. Let's try this again. And 99.9. Crashed. Okay, let's try this again. Download. Okay, there it goes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's probably going to happen. Oh, it's not a big game, so maybe not. But I don't. Epic Games, I like their game titles, but then when they launch their own channel or launcher, no, I didn't like that. So, it a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
And then our favorite personal topic, Star Trek. But not my favorite. Yeah. Not the best series to talk about. I mean, it might have gotten a lot of. I will admit, this particular series probably got a lot of more fanboys involved in Star Trek.
It's fair. Although
maybe not for the right reasons, but it did get a lot more attention from them.
It did. It did. It did.
Especially season 3 episode. I think it was
season
29.
Season 3 episode 24.
24. Yeah, and then season
4 episode 1.
Season 1. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the end of that one.
Yep.
And that spandex suit. But yeah. But Star Trek
She
Voyager,
needs it for regeneration purposes, John.
That's exactly what it is. But Star Trek Voyager, if you've ever watched it, but
now she's fine with the leather jacket. No.
I think she still looks pretty good.
Honestly, I'll take later 7 of 9.
Yeah, I got no problem with either one. I'm sure she's got that spandex suit somewhere back there.
I'm sure. Anyway, so Star Trek Voyager, there's been kind of a revival of talk around Star Trek Voyager because Robert Duncan McNeal and Garrett Wang have started their own podcast. So that is Harry Kim and Tom Paris have started a podcast called Ensign Tom Paris.
Or Harry Kim. And
Ensign Harry Kim, and at one point Ensign
Tom
Paris, but then re-promoted because screw you, Ensign Kim. Yeah. They have started their own podcast called The Delta Flyers, where they go episode by episode and answer questions and talk about experiences on the show. And it's actually a pretty good podcast. I've been enjoying listening to a couple of those. But that's not why we're talking about them today. We're talking about them today because Robert Duncan McNeal is lobbying to Paramount, the parent company of Star Trek licensing, to bring up a digital streaming only show for Captain Proton, which was a holodeck series. It was a series of 3 episodes? 4 episodes?
3 or 4 episodes, I think so, yeah.
That took place on Star Trek Voyager. And so it was a holodeck drama straight out of the 1940s.
Yeah, so if you're ever thinking of oh man, what was that? I literally had this while you were talking and I forgot it. What is that black and white star? Oh man, I totally bombed this. Oh gosh, what was that sci-fi show? The black and white one. It's basically that's what it's based off of.
Yeah. Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers and the 20. Yeah. So it's basically based off of that.
Yeah.
Type of a deal. You can kind of see the strings, everything, and so that's what the Captain Proton was.
Yeah.
If you don't know, that Tom Paris was very nostalgic in the 21st century technology type thing, and so during their limited power starship run, apparently they could run the holodeck at full power. Whatever, but you take the color out and it's less power.
Right.
So
you know what? Crew morale is a very important thing that you often overlook, John.
Oh yes, I understand. So black and whiteness is the
right.
So, but honestly, actually, maybe not a full-on series.
Sorry, Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. That's kind of the one I was thinking more of. Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
But there was the up and coming Nickelodeon Prodigy, and this as homage, a single episode type thing of maybe mentioning them, or maybe Harry Kim and Tom Paris showing up, because Tom Paris technically was a prodigy of a pilot prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry Kim was kind of an engineer prodigy. He was just a really good engineer.
Yep.
Just never got promoted.
What I love is that virtually everyone in Voyager has, via canon, been promoted in the future, except for Harry Kim still. Because even the future episode that Harry Kim and Chakotay got to themselves, Harry Kim was a renegade who had a guilty conscience because he killed Voyager because he sent them the wrong coordinates for a transwarp tunnel and blew the ship apart, and him and Chakotay made it back to Earth, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so
he was like, "Oh, I drank myself."
Right. And I hate myself, and I
never got quit Starfleet.
And Captain Geordi LaForge tracks him down.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. That was a pretty good episode. At least that one scene. Actually, that was a pretty all around good episode.
That was a great episode.
There are some really good gems in Voyager. There's some really good storytelling. After rewatching Voyager, it is almost a mixture of some of the quirkiness, cleverness of DS9 with we got to go back into venture into the unknown of the original series / next gen.
Yeah.
And I liked the premise. It wasn't always executed the best, especially when there's slug people mating with each other and whatever.
Those were chameleons.
Whatever. This is horrible.
Yeah. I love that they're now canon as a common accident in Star Trek, thanks to Lower Decks.
I know, that's great. But no, there are some really
Is
good
he human?
gems.
We think so.
Actually, that another reason why I love Lower Decks.
Lizard's getting the massage on the
is it's mostly just let's make fun of 99% of what everyone hates about Star Trek.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain Proton. Honestly, I don't know if it needs its own series, but I would love an homage, an episode
Quite honestly,
somewhere.
I don't think something like this would be overly difficult or expensive to produce. And if you can throw together, no, just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Your special effects don't have to be top notch. Your acting doesn't have to be top notch. And if Robert Duncan McNeal and Garrett Wang and Kate Mulgrew are willing to come back for a pretty reasonable rate to reprise their roles in the Captain Proton epilogue,
they got to lose them a lot of weight.
Well, that was an issue during the show too.
Yeah, exactly, and get some hair plugs now, and yeah.
That's one of my favorite anecdotes from Voyager. Is they said during the show, every time they'd come in for a new season, they were an extra size in their uniform bigger, and they said you're supposed to be 60,000 light years from Earth still. You're starving to death. Your replicators can only deliver rations plus whatever slop that Neelix can pick up. You're probably not going to gain 12 pounds, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was you saw it in Tom. Like, as soon as he started dating B'Elanna, like, you started seeing,
little bit of the chin starts.
He looks 12 pounds heavier. And the next season, kind of looks another 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
We're like, oh. And then it wasn't till, actually.
Tom is stealing rations.
Honestly, I think it was the demotion to where he got down to ensign, to where I think it was a personal, internal, like, you need to lose weight now. And then after he ranks back up, oh yeah, you lost the weight. Okay, there you go. It almost seemed like an internal struggle within the studio. Of like, oh, you're not going to lose weight? Well, guess what? We're demoting your character.
Yeah. Might have been. I don't know. The actors take those things personal, man. Yeah.
So, but if you want to contribute, although I will say, it's not Commander. What did Catherine Janeway become?
Admiral
Janeway is going to make a vocal appearance in
Star Trek Prodigy.
And I think a recurring role in Star Trek Prodigy.
You are correct. Yeah.
So we will see Admiral Janeway. That's why I was kind of thinking it would be kind of nice to see more of the Voyager crew in that aspect. I think the Captain Proton could make a rescendance of like an episode of like, hey, let's do a holodeck training, blah, blah, blah. Well, Captain Proton.
I think it could just be a fun, like, let's experience a holo program.
Well, I don't think it can be more than one episode. I don't think it can be a series.
But we said that about Lower Decks.
No. Lower Decks has got so much stuff.
No. Listen, before Lower Decks aired, our reaction to an animated comedy like Rick and Morty was that reaction. What was subpar, I'm not expecting anything out of this. And then the first couple episodes were really flipping good. And then episode 3 and 4 were like, it's okay. And then from like 5 through 10, it's like, these are great.
Okay, yeah.
These are great.
Yeah.
And I think if you remove the aspect of like Captain Proton being a hokey holodeck program, and you just take it as, let's reboot,
but it's not
Flash
Star
Gordon.
Trek then. But it's not Star Trek then.
But it's not Star Trek. But
then it doesn't work.
But hold on, no, because you can just tie it in with Tom is just enjoying some time on the holodeck. No, and you can tell stories that way. We accept the Sherlock Holmes plots in Next Generation. We accept those as canon.
We accept those as canon.
It's not like we're asking for a Fairhaven reunion.
See, like I see this as a Tom Paris is the teacher for the pilot academy, and he's like, okay, you want to be a real pilot? You think you're the hot shot? I'm gonna show you how old pilots did it. And then there's a single episode where he takes the hotshot cadet and he takes him to an old Captain Proton, and because with the Delta Flyer, he always had gears and levers and everything. He specifically made the Delta Flyer to have that.
Yep.
And he's like, that's how a real pilot flies. That works for me.
I think Captain Proton as a web series, as let's say 22 minute episodes, so a 30-minute runtime. I think as a web series, it could do well enough. Hold on, just
wait, hang on. I have to ask: are you talking animated or live action?
I'm talking live action.
Oh no! Heck no!
I'm talking live action.
It's past.
I think Captain Proton as a don't take yourself seriously, as a let's make some jokes, let's have some fun, but it happens to be Tom Paris playing Captain Proton. I think it could work.
Oh no!
Lower Decks has given me enough where the writers are clever enough.
Yeah, because it's animated. It's animated. They can do whatever they want. There's no de-aging in animation. You can have Riker, you can have Deanna Troi be in there because they're animated and the voices still sound familiar.
That's
live
true.
Action they are way past their prime, unfortunately. Now, that's what I was saying. If you did an animated series,
I don't know that Harry Kim has aged all that much. That Garrett Wang looks much different than Tom Paris has.
Yes,
I've seen the beard. Yeah.
Yes. So
it's embarrassing when I start growing a better beard than some of my childhood heroes.
Again, that's why I think it would kind of work as a single episode of the Prodigy thing. They brought it in. I don't see it as a series. I really, really don't. And because Captain Protoss wasn't, it is such a niche market.
Michael is
you know how it would work? It would work as a YouTube series. It would work as if the two of them went and got to the people that did a bunch of those Star Trek YouTube series.
Let's
do
say
that.
this. Michael has pointed out this, and this is the angle that I'm taking on it. Remove Star Trek from it. Stop. Okay. Sure.
Remove
Star Trek from it.
This
is just Captain Proton.
Okay, great. So if I did that, everyone that's Star Trek will hate it because they know the name. So then you have a specific amount of fan base that will just ding it really hard. So you're going to get that Rotten Tomatoes, all these bad critics. You're going to get that fan base that's going to hit it really hard.
We already know that no one hates Star Trek more than Star Trek fans. We already know that no one hates Pokemon more than Pokemon fans.
If you're going to say Captain Protoss, and then say, here are these...
Protons, are we back to StarCraft?
Captain Proton, and then you're going to say, here are these actors portraying these characters.
Right.
Every Star Trek fan.
We know where it comes from.
Exactly.
But the thing is...
They're going to ding it if it's not canon.
In those episodes...
No.
It wasn't a holodeck. It was a holodeck program, but they're enjoying some recreation.
They're enjoying some recreation, but that now it's going into it's probably going to be some
now just reimagine
overly aged guys rehashing the exact same thing.
Did you see Flash Gordon?
But you know what? Here's the problem.
I think
here's the issue. If you call it Captain Proton and you have the exact same characters, everyone's going to want to know, where's B'Elanna Torres? Because I want to see here, what's the relationship going? Where's their child? What's going on with that?
Has he said hello to his dad yet?
That's what everyone's going to want to know, all of these other things. And it's going to take away from the show. That's why I think if it's just a one-off individual episode of like an anime series with the original actors, it would work that way. And if they continued with a theoretical, say, podcast, sure, maybe that could work as a voiceover. That would work. Animated, I could see it working. Live action, no way. It doesn't work live action because animated, it's easily de-ageable. It's easily, you can bring in the B'Elanna Torres on one episode of 10 episodes to talk about their child. You could do that in an animated episode. So this only works as an animated series.
I disagree, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. So, but it is...
It's not my job to convince you you're wrong. You'll figure that out yourself.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, if you want to sit there and say that Voyager is the base series and whatever, that's fine. But,
everyone's saying they're kind of in on Captain Proton now, though.
Yeah, they're talking about
my life for hire.
They're talking about the animated series, not the live. Anyways, but it is 10:18 on our West Coast, the best coast, we do.
That's right. It's still Wednesday here.
It is, and we do have to get to our secret show, Jeff.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching episode 173 here on Talking Heads. It has been a blast. If you didn't catch the live show, make sure to catch us on the podcast form. There we go. I was looking for a word and I couldn't find it. Make sure to catch us in podcast form over on anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. Although I don't know why I'm throwing this in here, because if you are catching the live show, you're going to hear it. And if you don't catch the live show, you're already listening in podcast form. So this advertisement is null and void. I only have so many spiels that I can give, people. Good Lord. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in joining the Floatplaner Patreon, look us up down in the video description. You'll get exclusive access to the Discord server, and you can catch us over on the after party here in about 10 minutes time. We usually go from 10:30 to midnight here on the West Coast every Wednesday night. Live voice chat. You can ask me questions, talk to John, all that kind of stuff. It's a really great time.
It's a fantastic time.
It's called the after party for a reason. The filter goes off. So is what happens.
That's exactly what it is.
So, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't. I tried to say Hops and Brews and Craft Computing at the same time. Subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to Hops and Brews if you like the beer content on this channel, or you think John makes a half decent cocktail, which you'd be the first.
Oh, ouch. It's true. It is true.
And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next Wednesday right here at 8 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news.
See you guys.
Later, all.